Perfect. Now the recording is started. Yeah, so I was talking about that this the discussion about the challenges or obstacle hurdle that we face during our job search. We need to talk in from both the perspective of one is from the person who want job, that is job seeker, and then another one is from the person who want to hire a candidate from hiring manager or employer perspective. So I think we can discuss in this particular session, we can talk from the job seekers perspective. And the very next meetup call that we'll have on next Sunday, we'll take same theme and we'll talk from the hiring manager perspective. So I think it will be a good discussion around this one theme of what are the challenges related to job hunting or job searching. Having said that, uh, I think from I mean, it is very natural that the challenges that we face are different for different countries, different for different domain. It's different for different level of people. I mean, somebody who is the first time job seeker, somebody who is already in the industry and want to switch the job, somebody who have taken gap in between and then want to resume the job. So there are different situations wherein the challenges can come, not can, challenges must come, and those challenges we need to discuss and we'll see what are the most significant solution that we can propose. I think that is the overall expectation from this discussion that we're going to have. So I would like to invite any one of you who want to start talking around this particular theme. Anybody want to start or add anything from their perspective, and that will definitely help us to go forward with the discussion. What about you, Teapot?
I think, first of all, what I want to start with is for us to try and identify what we may perceive as the challenges while trying to change job. Okay, so what do we define as challenges? And I'll give some general examples, things that I've come across from people that I've come across trying to switch jobs. And then let's spend a few minutes to understand why people try to change jobs, or we can have some exchanges around that as well. Because some people would look at a job line or a career line and think, oh, there's a lot of money in that, I'm gonna go do that. And for those people, I call them professional career changers. They keep changing jobs because they jump from this to that, to that, to that. So we're not going to focus on people like that. I would talk from the point of view of people who genuinely want to get into some career from where they are. And I'll give you an example of people who come from, for example, engineering background, not just graduate of engineering. I mean, people who are mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, some call themselves computer engineer or whatever it is, petroleum engineers that are coming into IT. And over the past couple of years, I've seen a few people come from the arts as well. People who studied English, who are teachers, who teaches English literature and stuff. And when these people approach me and we are getting into how now, how to go about it. So when these people approach me and ask me questions like, oh, I want to go into IT, what should I do? Now, that's the first thing. That's the first challenge. We need to understand what is happening in the career we are going into. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. To get into a certain or to do a change of job, you need to find out more information, as much as you can get, about the job you are trying to get into. So that's really the first step, because that's where I come across people who wants to come into testing, for example, who were teachers, who was doing some other things, carers and stuff. They come and ask me, oh, what is it you do? How do you do it? Okay. So I think that's the very first thing, because it's easy for anyone to look at any of us or anybody else to say, oh, that guy is doing very well. I want to do whatever that guy does. Now, that would be a wrong way to go about it, because that guy may be doing so many different things for his organization that his title or description of work might be blurred. You might not even know what it does. So that's the wrong way to go about it. So the first challenge is knowing what is happening in that job that we are trying to move into. We need to find out, you need to ask people. Now, the sort of people you ask will determine the sort of information you get. The more experienced people in that field or in that job will tell you more. The less experienced, like someone who had a couple of months of experience, is more or less like you trying to get into it. They don't really know a lot about it. I'm not saying this doesn't mean they are not good at their job. They just don't have a lot of things to tell you because they really just started themselves. But people who have been doing it for years or for a few years, they can tell you a lot about it. So we need to find out. The first challenge is find out what is happening in the job you are trying to move into. Okay. Now, don't just ask one person. Don't just ask one. Don't just get one point of view, because the danger in that is that if you ask one person and that one person tells you everything, there is a tendency to take whatever the person told you as the gospel truth. And before you know it, subconsciously, you start building bias that does not conform with with what that person told you. So try to ask as many people as possible. You are not really looking for, there is no definition of what you want to hear. You just want to know what's going on. So when you ask those questions, go with the mindset that I'm not looking for something that would give me the encouragement to go ahead. I want to find out the truth. Finding out what's happening in the place you're going or the job you're trying to move into is not a seeking of encouragement activity. You are not trying to look for people to encourage you or inspire you or anything. You are looking for the truth. So go after the truth. Tell them to tell you what is happening to the very last detail. You are not really bothered whether it's ugly or beautiful. Just get the truth out of it, because that will make your decision making easier. And ask as many people. If I tell you something and I tell you the ugly part of it, and you are asking someone else, start your questioning from there. Get more information about that ugly bit. Because at the end of the day, you are lining yourself up to get into that line of work, and you will definitely come across the ugly bit. So you want to be prepared as much as possible from the beginning before you even step into it. So if people start telling you something and you look at it and go, right, this will be a challenge or a struggle, ask. Make that your point of asking. Ask everybody you come across. Ask everyone. Ask on all the platforms. There are so many platforms now that you can get a group of teachers, a group of engineers, a group of anything you want to do now. I think all of the platforms have different groups where you can meet them. Go there, join them, throw the question in, find out. Remember, you are not seeking inspiration or encouragement. You are just looking for the truth. Because once you get in, it might not be as easy to get out because your previous job might not hold any role open for you to say, oh, we wait for you for 5 years. When you feel tired from that, you come back. No such thing happens. So when you leave that and you are facing your new job, you are as well saying to the last job or the previous one that, hey, goodbye, I'm gone now. They won't hold anything open for you. Okay. So that's the very first thing that I see as a challenge. Where do we get the information from? Now, we've identified that we need to ask for information. Okay. Now, where do we get the information from? How do we know that we are getting the right information? For those of you who don't know, this is one of the questions the enablers of the test chat were trying to answer that gave birth to the test chat group and the community. Okay, we want people to have access to accurate, correct information about testing based on experience of so many experienced people without being fed or misled into so many wrong things. That's how we came about the test chat in the first place. So not only do we want to find out the information, we want to find out the genuine information, the right information. So we know that, okay, this is what I'm getting myself into. These are the things I need to do. How do they do it? This is how they do it. Okay. So I think I'm linking on from the fact that you need to find the information, you need to ask all of the questions, and then you need to find out that the source of the information is actually accurate. Let's not kid ourselves using our own profession as example, testing. If you go on the internet or out there, there is a lot of misinformation about testing. Take one topic about testing and you will find a lot of misinformation about it. And now a lot of us are coming together, putting resources together to make sure that we put the right information out there. We are putting information in the hands of future generation, future testers, and that includes all aspects of it. So when you are seeking information, don't seek information alone on the part you think that this is convenient and easy for me. Ask general questions. You don't necessarily have to do all of it at the beginning, but be aware so you can do your plan. Your career plan will include all of those things you found out. For example, I do encourage testers to not go into automation immediately. The biggest automation tool is your brain. If you haven't actually used it at all, how do you know the capability of it? How do you even know what you are capable of if you've not even tried? So think, okay? Use your brain, okay? Go into it, use it in a way that you can find out information, you can do stuff on your own. Look, and then if you want to learn automation, we have a lot of teachers to give you. We have a lot of teachers that we can point you to, that we can say, so person is looking for information about XYZ. Please teach them. We can refer you to people, we can mentor you. So that gives you all of the information. It does not necessarily mean that you are starting on automation journey the moment you become a tester, no. But we will give you all of those information. So when you do your career plan, okay, you include it. So I've come to the point of making a career plan. That's another challenge. A lot of people go into certain jobs without a plan. A lot of people will go into their job, they have no plan what their target is to be in 10 years or 5 years or whatever. And then you look at them and they ask you that, oh, where do I go from here? I can't tell you because I don't know your career plan. Okay, so we need to understand that we must have a plan.
So, Adi, what is the solution for this? I mean, I really understand the problem which you are discussing is very critical. What is if you want to give a very quick solution to this, how people should address this problem, like very quickly, What are the
Very
things that they
quickly,
need to do?
I've mentioned it. Very quickly, I would say seek information,
Hmm.
have a plan.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is important. What you mentioned is from the uh, right aspect, from the origin of why you think this is a challenge, and I think that is very important to gather right information with right set of people, and then only consider that this is a challenge. uh, Very valid point. uh, so and I think that is a self-generated challenge sometimes, because it is not a challenge, but because of some bad information that you have, you pretend it as a challenge, and then you struggle to get a solution of that problem, which is not actually a problem. But there are certainly few problems in the industry, and maybe we can start talking about it. Let's say I faced a problem in one of my earlier company. There was my manager. She's very experienced. She has good knowledge about the art that she belongs to, but she does not get interview calls. She has even applied for some of the roles which she is overqualified. Still, she is not getting an interview call. So this is one of the challenge that is that I think many people are facing, that they are not getting interview call, or they are not able to schedule their interviews at least. What what is your thought about what should be the reason, and what could be the possible solution to that? Uh, Anyone, maybe Naveen, do you want to add about this? Why people are why people are failing to get interviews called, or any other point that you want to mention?
Yeah, Sachin. So yeah, that's true. People are, not getting calls, and at this other side, other people are really getting a lot of calls and getting offers. But maybe it could be because of your the keywords that you are using on social media, like
Hmm.
especially on Naukri.com or such platforms. You are not using proper keywords, and your resume is not up to the mark. Maybe.
Right.
Right. That's a major reason behind that. Okay. Or maybe you are not connecting with some really good people on LinkedIn. I think you should connect with those people as well. Connect with
Hmm.
those HR and take some really good referrals and everything, and then you go for it. But sometimes what happens that okay, after 7 8 years, that this problem you will see very frequently, that number of calls will be decreased. Why? Because of the number of jobs also will be less when you cross 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. Maximum calls you will be getting after 3 to 6 years, 3 to 7 years. That's when like
Right.
you say that you see that okay, 5 offers, 6 offers, 7 offers people are getting. You will hardly see after 10 years people are getting more than 2 or 3 offers. That's really difficult to get it. Right. And after 10 years, you will get that level of maturity that, okay, yeah, I'm just looking for the specific company. So I'm not looking for the offers, I'm looking for a good offer. But I think you should improve your resume. And let's say for 10 years experience guy or 9 years experience guy, you're writing very basic stuff, just like a normal 2 years or 3 years experience guy. Then
Hmm.
your resume will not be shortlisted and you will not get the call. Right. So these days, these
Right.
platforms are using a lot of, AI and, a proper
Yeah.
artificial intelligence screen your resume, and once the resume is reached to the hiring manager also, they will immediately reject by seeing some very basic stuff that you are using it, same format, same thing. Your resume does not look not at all attractive, and the basic things that you have written, still you are saying okay, I'm playing with basic Zira and Excel sheets and all. But where exactly what about your leadership skills, ownership? So that is what people are looking for. So if
Hmm.
you match with the standard template or with the standard things, then I think the chances are very high to get the calls, you know, like that.
Right. I think
Uh,
you mentioned these
yeah,
two things, resume and networking. These are two very important, and I think most of the problems of this employment problem, job seeking and job getting, will be
yeah,
resolved
people
with
are
these
very
two things.
lethargic. People are so inactive on social. I mean, I'm not talking about on
Yeah.
social media like Facebook or Instagram. I'm talking about the LinkedIn, the community. People, they whatever that you are doing it, it's in your Eclipse only, in your laptop only. You have to
Right.
showcase your work. You have to highlight your work. I take training, and then I when I ask people, hey, do you have any Git repository? And nobody maintains it. Majority is still 70 80% people, they don't maintain their own repository code or hub
Right.
or whatever, like, because they really don't have that idea about it. They just see that okay, yeah, this basic practice we will do it and that's it. In fact, you should maintain your mind maps, you should maintain your test cases or some blogs or medium blogs or any personal blog that if you're writing it, these things impacts a lot. When you mention these things in your resume and your profile on LinkedIn, immediately if I'm getting a resume, most of the time I'll check, okay, yeah, this person is on LinkedIn or not. Let me check his or
Hmm.
her profile, what exactly the profile looks like.
Absolutely.
Don't. That's the secondary option that I check their the company name. It really doesn't matter to me, but I'll check what kind of work he's doing, right? In fact, 20-30% people, they just created their LinkedIn profile 3 years or 4 years back, and after that they never maintain that.
Right.
Forget about the forget about the activeness, but they don't even maintain. They don't even have the account on LinkedIn. So I think these days these things matter a lot. That is the important point
Yeah.
I want to highlight.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere, I don't remember the exact article, but it was mentioned that in 21st century, it's not what you know, it's about who you know. So what is your network and how many people you have in your network is also important in order to get job, because that will provide you reference, that will increase your chances of getting interview scheduled, if not the regular calls. And about the LinkedIn that you said, it's very easy. I mean, if I know anyone, I can go into their LinkedIn profile and I can see what is his view on several topics. If he is posting anything or if he's commenting on anything, I can understand what is the thought process he has about the specific thing which is going on. So I think this is very important. Networking and resumes are the solution for almost 80% of problem that the people are facing. Good point, Naveen.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Uh, any any other problem that you want to mention, which is again more severe than
Uh,
not getting interview calls?
I have
Yes, Faiz.
miss. Yeah, yeah. Not so one is related. So it's related to not getting interview call only. But I have seen two challenges here. One is the 90 days notice period. I think we have talked about it already previously as well in
Yeah.
different forums. Even Naveen had, I think Naveen has started with a tweet regarding say no to 90 days notice period and likewise.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the second thing is what I am starting to see is that people who are having more than 7 or 8 years of experience, let's say in that range of experience, so
Mhm.
they do not have any automation experience, and now they want to, so now they are, when they are trying to looking for change, so they are facing challenges, because even if they practice it by themselves, right? But but at that level of seniority, only practice may not help you get a new job with, because at that level they need more expertise or automation, but they do not
Right.
have that much of what can I say, hands-on working experience. So even I sometimes get such queries, and I don't know how, miss, what should be the answer to that, because it's what can I say, it's a difficult situation. Means I'm not saying it's entirely impossible. Maybe they can be proactive, or means they can do learning by themselves. As Naveen suggested, they can maybe create their own GitHub repo and showcase how good they are at work. But it's kind of very long shot, maybe, I'm not sure. But so that is one of the challenge I think people are facing,
Yeah.
especially in that experience range.
Correct. And I think what people need to understand is searching a job itself is a full-time job. So if you want to search for a job, you have to prepare for it. You have to give enough time to get prepared, to search, to investigate, to get some information, to prepare those resume, GitHub, and all other things. So I think it is itself is a full-time job of searching a job, but there is no alternative. I mean, if you not have knowledge, you will not have confidence. If you will not have confidence, even if you will get chance in the interview, you'll not be able to crack it. So I think everything comes boil down to knowledge, and that is a important thing. I see Neha joins from Pune. Neha, would you like to add uh, about any specific challenge, or any challenge that can be resolved with some of the solution that you have in your mind?
Yes,
Yeah.
something that I have noticed is during the time of like the JD that is there.
Hmm.
So the JD is something different, and when the interviewer, because a candidate would be preparing based on the JD, right? And the interviewer has some different expectation altogether.
Right.
So yeah, so this thing I've really faced a lot of times in the interviews also, and I've spoken to my friends
Okay.
even, and they have told the same thing. The JD is something different, and the interview has his expectation is totally different.
Right. I
Yeah.
think this is the biggest challenge which we
Yes.
have been discussing a lot, that the specification is way more different than the interactions. So you
Yes.
specify that you want this, but when you interact, you ask about something else, and
Yes.
that's very important challenge. But what do you think? What could be the solution for this? I mean,
So
from a person
solution.
who is preparing.
Yeah, the solution could be like um, both should be at the same platform first. So while preparing the JD,
Uh,
so yeah, so the input should not be the generalized. Instead, the QA team should prepare the JD, and instead, because what happens is generally the HRs are not aware of it, right? And
mhm.
they actually copy paste the previous requirement.
Right, right.
So before actually posting out the JD, they should actually get it verified from any of the QA folks, the senior
Mhm.
members,
Right,
before it is actually rolled out.
right. This makes sense. Yeah. So, and this completely makes sense that you before you post the JD, it should be you should have a screening process with the relevant department or team what they want. What I'm interested in, and I don't know if this makes sense. What from an interview, from a candidate perspective, even though if he cannot control how JD will be posted, but what he can do in order to not get in the situation, is it
Yeah,
any way
yeah.
to?
From a candidate's perspective, uh, maybe the candidate must not have an experience in some particular field, but he should at least have a knowledge of it.
Hmm,
So
right.
he said, okay, there could be like a certain area where he hasn't worked, but he should particularly have a knowledge of it, saying that, okay, I know about it, this and this is the thing, but when you talk about the work X, I do not have a work X on this.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So
I got it.
yeah, to a certain extent that goes well, wherein, for example, a manual tester does not have an experience in automation, but he has knowledge of automation. So the requirement could be of automation, but if the candidate has been interviewed, so in that case, he can say that, okay, I do not have an experience in automation, but theoretically I know. So there could be a chances that he or she can be hired if or if it is not for a senior profile, if
Mhm.
it is middle level. So some companies could have give a chance, but then depends like on the interview.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, this is important to at least keep yourself honest from your side. Uh,
Yes.
that is a good point. So I think these are two things from the interview perspective. Uh, any other specific challenge that anyone has with? Sai, do you want to add anything, any challenge or any solution for the challenges that we have discussed?
Uh, I'll be very high all. I'll be very specific about this.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge which me or my colleagues were facing is like the level or depth of DS and algorithmic topics which we need to cover while preparing for interview at 9 years of experience. I am 9.4 now, like 9.5. So
Okay.
this is the challenge which we face. We know what level of questions will be expected at, let us say, like a 5 6 or not, but now we have this confusion of should we prepare for non-linear DS also, like dynamic programming, backtracking, all these things will we be asked. So we are not sure about those things. This is the one specific challenge I'm letting you guys know, so that we can discuss more about this. At what the to be very precise, what level of, to what extent a 9 years experience QA engineer
Yeah.
with I call it as QA. I don't differentiate between manual and automation. A QA
Mm-hmm.
engineer should know DS and algos. So that is my doubt, and I request our panel members to anyone to shed some light on this area, particularly for
Perfect.
product-based companies.
Yeah, I think this is so very subjective thing, but when we talk about automation, when we talk about newness in testing, that always goes to the algorithmic part that you say. And Naveen has always focusing on, if you want to prepare for big companies, there will be some round. He always talk about you need to understand the data structure things as well. So maybe Naveen, do you want to add
Yeah.
something on your side?
Uh, yeah, I agree with the Sai and Sachin, but the problem is you are still good in DSL Go. Today's topic is slightly different, right? That how to get the calls. That is the main topic, right, for today. That you are
Ah,
really good in DSL Go, and then still you're not getting the calls. Still you don't know how to apply, and then your resume looks good, but still you are lacking and you are not getting good calls. And that's then you will appear then, as like Neha said, that okay, JD is totally different. Then you at least you are appearing. Majority of the people are facing this problem today. Yeah, they are not even getting the calls. So just I want to highlight 2 points here. The first point is that, for example, as Neha said, that in JD, let's for example, someone has written, you have to work up, you should have experience on WebLogic server and Oracle application servers and all such things, although you have never worked upon these things. So what exactly people they do it, okay, they immediately just start learning those things. Just have the basic idea, that is more than enough. Do not spend too much amount of time on those unnecessary things. Why? Because you cannot learn within 2 days. Tomorrow you have interview, or next after 2 days you have interview. You cannot learn these things within 2 days. Just have the basic idea, but whatever that you have in your bucket, in your plate, just improve those things, right? Because majority of the JDs are these days like copy paste. They just copy, and then from the previous script, and then the exact same thing, okay, they will give it to you. So do not trust everything on all 16 bullet points are written in the JD. Do not trust them. Okay, the standard questions will always be there. The first one you have to crack in good product companies like DS Algo, or automation or framework of basic programming and testing and everything. Focus on your core skills. So in core skills, in basic testing, your testing skills, your test is designing, bug life cycle and everything, your testing mindset and everything, you should look matured enough when you give the answer for testing. It should not like a small, just fresher is giving the answer. Second core skills about your automation. Automation means the basics of programming, basics of data structure algorithms. But again, that is specific to specific companies. Not every company is asking for data structure or algorithm. Okay, good companies are asking, but at least you should have the basics of programming, then automation framework, a language or Selenium or automation API or mobile or whatever that you are looking for. I think that is enough. You should focus on these things. If you have the confidence on these things, then you can manipulate, then you can explain at the time of interview accordingly. If someone is asking you, okay, fine, tell me, do you have any experience on Kubernetes or Docker? But I have never worked upon these things. You can simply say, okay, no, I haven't explored that much. But
Right.
people get the scared that okay, no, these are the 16 points, I have to just cover each and everything. And then they just give you so many examples. They just directly come to me and they say, okay, can you give me training for WebLogic? I mean, training on WebLogic, how can I give it to you in 2 days? Even I don't know about WebLogic. So that's the thing. Do not waste your time unnecessary on unnecessary things. That is the important thing. Whatever you have in your bucket, in your resume, whatever you have learned so far, just focus on those important things and then go for interview. That will,
Right.
Neha, that will solve the problem. Do not focus much on unnecessary those JD points. Okay, because we cannot control them. We cannot control these people, right? Like we cannot control HR. That okay, yeah, there are thousands of companies are there in the market. We cannot teach them to give the proper JD, right? So we
Right.
can do from our side whatever we can do. That's important.
Right. I think this is
And
very important mantra that
ah,
yeah.
you have
And
given.
another one thing I tell you that another one thing, just back to
Mhm.
the topic.
Yeah.
Another one thing is that okay, people are really let's see these days, especially in pandemic. Let's say you are in some very in your village or in your city, and the people just say okay, for let's say you are in North India, and then people just say only fine, I'm just looking for only for Noida location or Gurgaon location. So that is again the major criteria these days, that okay, people are not getting calls from Bangalore, Pune, Chennai, Hyderabad, and from this area. So if
Mm.
you're looking for something, and then if you're open to that, just please say that at the time of interview that okay, I'm quite open to that. Don't say okay that, because these days HR are very specific about it. Because I have seen in my previous company, we were just looking only for Bangalore location, because you never know that okay, people will come from Delhi to Bangalore or not. Their hometown is in Delhi, and they will not generally come to Bangalore or Pune. So that is again the main criteria. Okay, where majority of the calls are coming from Bangalore. This candidate is willing to join in Bangalore, but that is again. So you have to be very clear about it. Okay, I'm quite open. I can relocate. I don't have any personal issues or family issues. My family is perfectly fine. And to relocate to Bangalore or Pune or somewhere else, I think you should be vocal about it.
Absolutely agree, Naveen. Two very important points again. So last time you talked about the resume and networking, and this time you touched upon the strengthen your strength part. I mean, whatever you know, you have to strengthen that and go for interview instead of preparing for other things in last 1 2 days. You can just prepare on what you know, and you can just get it very concrete so that you can perform very well. And the next one is location, that plays very important role in job search. So people who have joined, just Mohit, Soumya, Shweta, Raju, and GM, I guess, Mr. General Manager, we are discussing about the challenges that we face in uh, job searching. And today's discussion is mainly focused on what are the challenges as a candidate we face and how to solve them. So we talked about this challenge of not getting interview calls. There is this another very important challenge, very funny at the same time frustrating, is we will get back to you. So if you get interview chance, you appear for it, but you never get answer from HR or the team. That's another challenge in the job search, that you are hoping somebody will come and they will get back to you and let you know what is the results, and you're not preparing for anything else. That is what going in your mind, but they did not come. So I believe, Chandra, you're in the call since beginning and you're listening to all the comments that other people are saying us. If you want to
I
add anything.
Yes, I have got this opportunity many times, and I mean, I have given my interview many times, and each time it's been like, we'll get back to you, we'll come
Okay.
back to you,
Maybe you will
and
get a lot of HR call in next month because everybody is getting back to you in July.
so it's like that. But I had a on Naveen and Sachin, you as well. I had a slight different question when we were talking about we are 5 or 10 years of experience. How about the newcomers, the new joinees who are not specifically from tier 1 college? There are people who are like, okay, I'm preparing, I'm trying to learn the things. Even some are enrolling in the institutions like the one are available in Hyderabad and say Bangalore after college for 3 months or 6 months of Java also, but they are not even getting the free intensive, forget about the paid ones. And they are as I mean, the level of struggle and level of engagement is as that they are ready to even work on call centers also. But even though they are
Oh, yeah.
computer graduates or masters in computer science, but they are not getting that first opportunity. And even though they have not really worked a lot, if they get that option of 1 year of experience, the number of interview calls increased automatically. So how to overcome this issue? Either you have to fake, I mean, if you fake yourself in Naukri in your profile that you have 1 year of experience, you will get the call for sure. Maybe that will be a lie or not, but if you update yourself as a fresher, and even if you opt for this Naukri call where they give you what they say, the elite resume or something, they will charge you some 3,000 or 5,000 bucks so that you'll get the call. But everything will be only about call center call or
Right.
sales job or something. So how to tackle that?
That's a good point, Chandra. I mean, we certainly need to discuss about it. I'll give some of my inputs that I want to suggest, and then I know Faiz has written one article few months back about the suggestions given to freshers, and then maybe we'll see who want to add. So first of all, the point which I was talking about, we'll get back to you. I think the good strategy should be whenever we are done with our interview, we need to and make this process. We need to say send a thank you mail to them with whomever you had interviewed. Just send an email saying that it was good and this was your experience, and if you are expecting anything as a positive outcome, you can send that email, and then you can, whatever time they'll take, let's say if they say we'll get back to you in 2 weeks, get back to you in 1 week, you can certainly do a formal follow-up. That will help to at least trigger their mind. If they have multiple interviews, they have multiple resumes to go through, multiple people to talk to, that's why they might get busy. But if you will send the thanks email, if you will send the follow-up email, that certainly help you sometime, if not all time, to get this information. Having said that, the second point that you mentioned is very important about the freshers. So I think these three things from my side. First, freshers should believe in networking. What Naveen said, I'm just reiterating it because it is important. If you want to get job in a specific domain and you know that you want to get it, you should start enhancing or creating your network within the people who are already there in this domain. Join communities, and we have a good example, a very good example in test chat community, where in a fresher get job, he prepared with the help of people in community, and then he got that job. So join community, believe in networking, and third is work on the resume. That is your first document. People are paying to formal resume creators to get a nice resume, because the way we were talking earlier, the resume farming technique, wherein you are being selected with help of some hashtags. For a fresher, it is not, I mean, there is a very big or great chance to miss those hashtags as a fresher. We do not know what is the hashtag right now in industry going on. So what he can do is, the suggestion would be to go either talk to experienced person, get your resume reviewed with him, and then go and apply, or pay some money to someone who create professional resumes, and then that will help you, to start your effective job hunting. Those three things I want to definitely suggest. But yeah, let's hear it from anyone want to add about. And the question is very specific. I just want to again reiterate what Chandra asked is, what is your suggestions, recommendation, and advices to a fresher who is searching for job in testing industry?
Sachin, Shubham here. So
Okay, Shubham, yeah.
on this one, I would like to add, like, whatever the programmers specifically they
Mhm.
are practicing, like they like Navin mentioned, whatever the knowledge you had, even if you are not good at an internship or something like that, if you have a good Git repo,
Mhm.
if you are practicing, you have some knowledge of Java and all those things, so you can
Right.
just create a Git profile, update it over there. And also, from testing perspective, there are open source project contributors, contributions can be done, that can also be highlighted. And I attended Ajay's workshop the last had, so he also mentioned one thing, like,
Right.
if you are wanted to join some company or any product related to that, say for example Zomato. So if you want to just want to join a Zomato, you have an application with you, like a product you have. So you can just test that particular product, publish an article or any defects or whatever the observation, whatever the experience you had on that particular thing. You can just express it over the LinkedIn, and just get in touch with those people who are relevant for that particular profiles. So that can also help, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And one more thing to add, the challenge part is like,
Mhm.
I have experience in my previous days that one of the colleague had, like, he is experienced around 8 to 10 years of experience, but most of the challenge he had is he worked on in-house tools which was
Mm.
built into the company, and they are
Right.
specific to that company only. So he had a manual background plus that in-house automation tool background, but that tool is specific to that company, and that's why when he trying to appear for the job interviews, so
Mhm.
that was not relevant enough for him to get
Right.
out. So the in-house tool experience mostly how that can be changed or perspective to showcase your knowledge on that particular things, that can be one challenge mostly.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's a good point of in-house tool as well. But I agree to two, 3 points that you mentioned. Uh, to know about your, so when you are giving interview, the one who is taking your interview is your customer, and you are selling yourself to him. So know about your customer is very important. Uh, KYC to your customer. So if you are appearing for a Zomato, like you said, you should definitely have something in your hand, in your mind, to talk about their product, to talk about their self. That will first, at first place, that will help you to have a happy engagement in the interaction, and then you can certainly get them. I see Naveen, you unmuted yourself. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, Sachin, one small point. I totally agree
Yeah.
with what Shubham said. One thing for a fresher point of view that see, you have to raise the bar high. You have to compete, and where especially in India, where the people are coming from different backgrounds, from very good colleges like NIT, IITs, or some really good some really good universities and colleges. And then you're coming from some tier 3 college or tier 2 college, then you have to beat them. You have to not beat exactly, like you have to stand with them. In that case, your resume should look good. What I see that, okay, when they share the resume with me, and it's like, okay, experience in PowerPoint, experience in Excel sheet, experience in this, and you are computer science graduate, and not a single project you haven't mentioned. So I think they have to understand that nobody will give you the job basis of these skills. It's not a BSc or some NIT program, right? So you have to come up. You are an engineering graduate, you are or MCA graduate. You have to mention those projects. You have to mention your whatever, like the final year or third year project that you have done in your, okay, if either it could be any software development that you have done, or any programming language, or any, what is your rank on Hacker Rank and Lead Code. I think you should start doing those things. You see on LinkedIn, I feel ashamed of myself sometimes that, okay, the people are doing amazing thing as a fresher. They're learning machine learning, and then AI, and then Python, and there are so many good things, that robotics and everything, they're doing it. So why don't you mention that? So tier
Right.
one or tier three, it really doesn't matter. It's all about your attitude. It's all about how exactly you're enhancing yourself in the market. It means you wasted your 4 years in your engineering college. So I think there are so many online resources are available. Invest your time, and I'm not saying invest too much amount of money on these courses or something, but at least start doing this. Everything
Right.
is free, available on Lead Code and Hacker Rank. Start doing those things, and then mention this is what people will, let's say you're applying for Amazon, Walmart, or such companies. People will looking into your resume as a fresher. Unfortunately, your college was not that great. Placement could not happen because you did not do hard work after your 12th exam. So that's why you got this college. But now still you have 4 years to improve this thing,
Yeah.
right? So I think you should improve whatever is happening in the market. As you said, whatever happening in the market with the current market situation, you have to raise the bar high. Still I see, okay, yeah, I'm having experience on basics of C language, on basics of Excel sheet, I can prepare my this thing and all. That won't help you much.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to bother about it. And or until unless you just go for walk-in interviews for next key one for one next 1 year 6 months, you just keep trying in the industry, just go for here and there, and then that is too much struggle, right? But there are companies, some really good companies, they go to colleges. If you did not get that chance, you just apply online and then showcase your work in the form of Git repositories, in the form of some projects, or maybe some contribution that you're doing, writing some blogs. As a fresher, it impacts a lot. People will feel, okay, yeah, see, this is a level of maturity this person is having, that okay, if, as a fresher also, he's maintaining he's doing so much amount of work. So when we train them, when we guide them, then this guy can do a lot of good work in my company. So why not hire them? So that's why you see the package difference also. The people who are actually learning. So companies will give you package not because of your college. College is one of the factors, no doubt about it. But I have seen a lot of people, they are making some, let's see, as a fresher, they are making 10 lakhs ka package or 15 lakhs ka package as a fresher also in some really good company and from tier 3 college, just because of their knowledge, just because of they have done some really good work in their engineering college, especially in last 2 years.
Right.
So I think that is the attitude they have to improve as a fresher. You have to raise the bar
And
high. Those days are gone when 10 years back, if you do engineering, you will definitely get the job. But these days, the struggle is there. You have to be different from others.
yeah.
One small thing, get back to you from the HR. See, you cannot improve these people, right? You cannot follow up multiple times. Your advice is absolutely fine. You can write a follow up mail that, okay, yeah, it was a good experience, but still they will not give it to you. So you cannot expect, and you should not be sad about it. Okay, no, they did not give the feedback to me. Just move on. That's it. You're not getting the reply from them for next 1 week. It's fine. Okay, you got rejected or you could not get selected. Rejection
Yeah.
is a negative word. It means you did not get selected. Somebody else got the job, right? Just move on. Don't wait, and don't expect that, okay, yeah, they did not give the feedback, and then you are bitching about them in Telegram group, and then see, this is what is happening, and there's a worst company and this and that. So just move on and try for the next company.
Yeah. No, that's excellent advice on
And you
the.
guys, you guys might be aware of this candidate.response@blah blah blah.com. I'll not take the name of the company. I have been victim 2 times. I mean, after 3 rounds of it, since Naveen mentioned, you don't really need to cry about it in a LinkedIn post or in a Telegram group. But yes, I mean, I have really, after 3 rounds of interview, it was like, you just send us the document and we are processing your candidature. And when I sent that, after 15 days or 20 days, there was no response. And I
They buy
did.
SIM cards with your document. That's what they do.
Yeah,
Yes,
I would
Azrael,
like.
it's that's a cruel world. I'm telling you. See, it happens everywhere. So you cannot. But there are some good companies. If they don't want to proceed, they will immediately tell you. They will never ask for the document.
Yeah.
There are some
And
service-based companies.
those are some automated emails, but they clearly said, we liked your
Yeah.
profile,
Yeah.
but we are hiring some other person who is more
Someone
suitable
else in
for the
our
job.
yes.
Yeah, we encourage you to look our career page and apply for more similar jobs.
Correct.
One
Yeah.
bad
So
experience,
Yeah.
actually, I have seen it recently. It happened with my one of the relative only. So he got an offer letter from one of the company, and it was mentioned that one clause. So if he declines the offer, he has to pay something amount, whatever the CTC has offered. But he had one client round over with the other company for the location he was requested to, and they have agreed. So he had a client round, but after that maybe it didn't had a good approach or going ahead.
Hmm. Hello.
Yeah,
I think we lost him.
I think
Yeah,
yeah,
Faiz, you
yeah.
wanted to add something.
Yeah, I would just want to add my 2 cents. So I agree with
Yeah.
what Naveen and Shubham have mentioned on these two topics, and what it was a good advice, Sachin, that we should, miss as a person, if as a job seeker, if I am applying, I should try from my side to, write a thank you mail that it was a good experience, and then if they are not giving, then we should move on. But one more thing, I think, which we can do from that HR not getting back to us is that, as we discussed earlier, means if you are using your network, let's say for example, you are applying in my company, I'm just giving an example, right? So at least I can, if even if, maybe HR cannot maybe respond to each and everyone, but in that case also, at least the person, if is from same company, so there are very high chance to get a response, or at least you contact that person that, hey, I'm not getting, can you just, get in touch with HR and let me know what is my candidature status. So that one
Yeah.
thing can also help. And regarding fresher, I just want to add one thing that, or as a fresher, I have seen that, means as Naveen mentioned, I have seen that people are doing. There are some people that are really doing amazing stuff, right from their first year of college or second year of college, and likewise. So there is like very a huge divide I can see. Means the people we are very aware and are having very high bar, and there are people who are, not aware that much about what is happening and all. So I am not going to comment, or means there can be genuine reasons as well. So I am not
Yeah.
going to discuss that. But as a tester, one more thing what a person can do is that, I believe that if there is like no bar, like if there is no concern in relocating, then you should not be restricted about locations, because I have seen that many freshers are, restricted about locations. So if you are able to relocate, then you should not be hesitant about that. Apart from that, till the time you are getting a job, you can try. There are some platforms for freelancing as well, and crowdsourcing as well. So I believe as a test fresher, one should try that, because see, we are experienced, so we are having means we have tested the application, so we have that kind of, experience or mindset. Okay, but if as a fresher they have only, learned the concepts, but they haven't applied it anywhere, they haven't really tested any application. So it makes a difference if they have participated in such platforms till the time they get job, just for practice purpose. If they are able to like find valid bugs and all that, and they are getting money, then it's also a good thing. But if they are participating in such platforms like crowdsourced testing related platforms or freelancing testing related platforms,
Mm, mm.
then it would be good, means it can be added advantage in interviews, I believe. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Right. I think what you, Naveen, Chandra, and Shubham has mentioned, one thing, and Neha also added that that to get job, you need to do job. Even if you are a fresher, you need to do some job earlier in order to get a job. That means you need to work on some of the things and add those things as a weapon in searching the battle of job. And I completely agree to that. I really want to hear from people who joined recent. Okay, just a second. Before that, I have a question from Chetan. And if I understand the question correctly, I'll read it, Chetan. And if you want to add, you can please unmute yourself and add. Basically, he want to know that once people get offered, they ask for the feedback of company, which company to join between A and B, and then in the Telegram group or in communities, and then they hear something bad about some company which they want to join. So, what should be the strategy, and what are your views on whether we should ask people for the feedback or to whom actually we ask for this feedback? Chetan, is this something that you are expecting from this question?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, if somebody who has joined, Mohit, Somna, Shweta, Sanket, if you want to comment on this thing, so
Yes, I would
yes,
like
Sanket,
to. I would like to input on this one.
sure.
So I would be very honest and practical about the answer of this question.
Thank you.
So whenever you have been offered by any company, you should check below parameter. The first parameter is that company paying on time? Do we have health insurance? What are the post-death benefit on the job? The third one is, what are the internal job posting policies? What is the canteen policy? What is the leave policy? What is the maternity policy? What is the transport policy? Okay, because whenever few people ask me that what technology I would be working upon, so see, there are two type of company that we normally get offered for. First is a talent pool company. Second one is a direct project role company. If you've been into the talent pool company, you never know which project you will be joining, because you will be in the talent pool and then a project will allocate to you. So that time you will never know on what technology, what will be the setup and what's the everything around that. Because in talent pool company, the people from we can say the technical panel take your interview, not the people from the project you have been working for, because that was not decided. So when this is the dizziness, so you should not worry about it for which technology I would be working upon. Obviously you will be working upon the technique, the Selenium or the Java, for which I can say the technology you have been asked for. But this is a other situation, other side of coin, when it is with the direct project, like institutional bank is offering you, any retail firm is offering you, that time you will be understand about the project details. Okay. The second point that always comes is, there is always a negativity with the people who are faced with the immediate manager or the people surrounded by them, and they tag that experience with the company. We can find two people, one is very happy and one is very sad in a same company. That means his experiences depend upon what parameter? His experiences depend upon the person who is reporting to, or the people who are he may is working with currently. So that time you should not worry about how will be my career, because a bad person can be found in MNC or can be found in Google too. If I give a bad reference, if I say a bad experience that I am having at Google, people will call me fool. That how can you have a bad reference? Because I am giving on the perspective of an individual person. The other point is, company always think on the benefit of employee. If you feel any health related issue, company will provide you the good benefit. But are these policies carried correctly by the manager or the team members with you are working? So if those policies are not carried by perfectly, then it's not a fault of a company. It's a fault of people that you are working upon. So you should not think that you should not think on a negative basis, that on a negative experience, that what will happen if I join this company? Because I have seen some experiences that some people, one guy told me that, hey, I won't join with that company because the normal package at that company is XYZ, and I have been offered a 30% more, and they would be expecting more, or they will tell me, we have offered you so much and you are not doing this thing. I said, this is actually your assumption. This is not the practical fact. So
Right.
overthinking about the situation that is not present there is another thing we should avoid while considering the joining things. So my conclusion is, the honest point or the practical point that I shared, that should be thought first, and not the other one. And one another point, there was a company who offered 22 leaves on paper on salary, but the client asked to take only 15 days of leave. Whose fault is this? Not the company's fault, right? It was my bad luck that I was assigned that project. Now people call that company as a bad company. Is that a right way to give the feedback?
Certainly not.
So we have to understand how someone is giving a feedback on the basis, on what basis. That will help to get a better, we can say, a better understanding of the companies when we ask for the reviews.
I think this amazingly described and articulated, Sanket. This will help. And why I'm so happy about this is, if once you will see the recording of this call, Teapot had started the discussion with specifically this platform only, on the same stage wherein he was talking about what information you are getting, from where you are getting, and what is the and why you are getting these details. I mean, why somebody is telling this is bad. You need to go and investigate. But other than that, you need to get right information from right people in the right intention, so that you can decide whether to go this or not. That's a very uh, intelligent way to ask for this, Mohit, and I would definitely request you to unmute yourself and talk about.
Yeah, thanks, Sachin. I would like
Your
just
voice
like,
is little.
hello,
Can you speak a little louder? Yeah,
is it better?
yeah, it's better now. Yeah.
Thanks, Sachin. Like I would just like to share my experience in this topic. So the thing is, there is one with like a big company. It's famous like worldwide, so it has branches, and it's a very reputed name. So I got one interview from that company. I cleared the first round, and in second round I just googled about that company. I went to like that name of the company, and I entered Glassdoor just to see the reviews, and I came to know that the company doesn't give much hikes. So yeah, the reviews were consistent. It's a very big, like it's famous, and I was like, for me that was like a dream name. But when I went to Google, I came to know that yeah, okay, so this gives less hikes, and there were many negative comments about that. I went to Telegram groups and I checked. Yeah, they were mixed reviews. So I think in some cases we would never know. Like we once we get into that company, only then we can come to know. Oh, okay, what's the actual status or not? Because this reading this and negative reviews had an impact on me, and I didn't prepare well for my second round, and yeah, it didn't go that well.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice input, Mohit. Yeah, thank you very much
Adding
for
to
adding this.
adding to that, whenever someone also says that which company I should choosing, so more than going into technical, you should check about the work-life balance with respect to the joining of the company also. So just giving an practical example, if a company is offering me the same package and the perks are same, I would really prefer the company which is near to my house. That is a really practical guide to choosing a company. The other practical guide is, if two companies are offering me a little bit more package, I would definitely go with the higher package company. Because if we really think that, okay, the company will really change my career with the technical upskilling, then I would like to add one more thing. You work in Microsoft, Google, or anywhere, for a next switch you have to study. If that remain a constant thing, then why should you think that whatever I am working in a company, that is my career? That's a deliverable that you are doing. For every next job, you have to study. So don't keep that dilemma that I will join a big company and something magic will happen and my career and my skill, I will have a upskilling immediately. That doesn't happen really magically.
Right, and I fully agree with this. And I also I like the way you started when you started talking that you will be honest, and honestly, you are putting a lot of honest points. Really appreciate this, Sanket. Uh, so a lot of things are there. I mean, now when this discussion has started, I think resume could be entirely 1 hour of discussion. Glassdoor reviews could be a very uh, detailed discussion that we need to talk about, and these are definitely job search challenges. There is one more challenge which I want to talk is about the internal job posting. So why I'm saying this as a challenge is because nowadays companies they believe in hiring people who are already there in their company so that it will be less time taken, less chances of denying the offer and all. Uh, the challenge is if I am outsider and I want to apply for that job, I do not have any provision, uh, and there is no way to uh, see it from outside. If you have any internal person that can refer you, that is there. But is there any experience that you people have in applying for any internal job posting, or you suggest it is there a way that somebody can crack this and go into IJPs, or it is not recommended at all? What are your thoughts on this? Anybody want to add? By the way, I like the idea that Mohit had. If you want to talk, you can just raise your hand. If anyone is talking and next you want to speak about, you can just use that raise hand symbol, and that will help me as well to transaction from one to another. Right now, I see Chandra. You have unmuted yourself. Maybe you want to. Okay. You
Yeah.
muted again
So
and again unmuted. Okay. Yeah.
exactly about the okay. So not exactly about the posting, but I had this recent experience I have posted about in the job posting, the TTC job group as well. We have an internal opening at organization which requires a referral, and it is not on the career portal, it is internal only, and the offer is so good and required for APN people with APN understanding 3 to 6 years, that the company is offering some good of referral, and for first 10 successful referral they are offering the MacBook Air. Can you imagine it? But when I posted the job, I got at least 10 different resume, but not the one which is required as a technology, that is the backend plus FP. So well, we say we should give the opportunity to people. I mean, the outsider will not get the opportunity, but actually it's all about connecting the dots. Company want to hire a right person,
Yeah. Yeah.
and an employee wants to have a. It's more like a internal job posting is more like a choosing of, okay, you are, as you said, you are in my team, you are in my organization, so I would like to have someone who already knows our culture, who already know us, or I
Right.
can have a reference of some kind. And in this process, if my employee or the person who is referring is getting some benefit, it's good.
Yeah. Right, and that's what even I was thinking about. But that is another point that people or the organization paying very fancy uh, amount, and sometimes these gifts that you said. If a successful referral is there, and if person stays for I don't know for 3 months consecutively, and then you can claim for that particular amount. But yeah, that is also in the industry right now. So people who have joined recently, I just want to give a brief summary about. We're discussing the challenges that we face while we do a job search, and in this session, we're talking about what are the challenges that a job seeker is facing, and we probably had discussed about a lot of solutions to that as well. I request you to go through the video and we'll upload it on TTC. But for now, whoever joined newly, and if they want to discuss about any challenge that they faced, or if they want to share any solution about the challenge that they want to propose, you're more than welcome. You can just unmute yourself and talk about the challenge. In the meantime, will again talk about one more challenge specific to uh, women, and also for men as well. If they take a gap in the career, let's say they took gap for studies, they took gap for maternity, they took gap for taking care of their family, and then they want to resume their career, then they want to start their job search. What are the challenges that people can face in this situation, and what should be a strategy to not only face but to solve this problem while we are resuming our career from a gap. uh, Anyone who have this experience I want to share, or anyone who have thought about it that they want to? Yeah, I think no, I thought Shivam has unmuted but then he left. uh, so this is a specific challenge, and I know that I do not even wish for anyone that they stay away from job for a long time. But even if there is a situation where you are away from job, you have taken some gap, and then you want to resume your job search, that is a big challenge. Uh, and we, if not today, we may need to discuss about it. But this is
Well,
something which is,
I have one input.
yeah, Sanket, yeah.
Well, this may be challenge if HR is directly hiring for a candidate, but the path may be smoother if someone close to the organ close to, we can say, reference can help, like referring directly with the HR, or discussing with their technical lead or manager about the concerned person if they are technically strong. This can solve the cause, because I believe HR might have a certain set of policies which they apply while selecting a candidate, and these may get dilute if things come behind the corporate firewall, passing HR's questionnaire. This is my thought, one of the thought that.
Yeah. I think, and I also want to add that there are multiple organizations who are specifically having some drive or some program for such people. Like ThoughtWorks, I know they have this program. Sapient have a special program for people who want to join our program. They are giving some, special seats to those people, and that's how the organization is helping people to, face this type of situation while they are having gap and want to resume their job search. Thank you for your point, Sanket. I think we are in next 10 minutes we can wrap up this call. But before that, if anyone want to discuss about any of challenge, want to share anything, any last point, any input from anyone, I think this is
I
the
have,
time.
yeah,
Mohit,
Sachin, Mohit here. Yeah,
please.
I
Yeah.
have a question. I would say, like, I want to ask if anyone can give their inputs or feedback on this. So the challenge which I am facing currently is about the salary. Like, what should be the ideal? Suppose I cleared all the rounds. Now it's the salary negotiations. Now they will ask me, what salary do you expect? Okay, now they are going to wait for 3 months for me, because a notice period is 3 months for my company. So what should be ideal? And for my case, I have never switched, so this would be my first switch. So that's the reason my salary is not according to the market. So what should be the ideal salary I should ask for? Okay, and once they give me that salary, they give me that offer, so should I keep applying to other companies and try to raise that salary package, or is that is there is a like some danger if I go to a higher than a threshold, like suppose an X amount, is it like bad for my career in future? Because right now they are giving me because they have this opportunity, but in future they might not have, and because me being in a higher salary, can this impact me? So ideally, what should be the range of that salary, and should we like keep on continuing to increase it? like in the notice period, while serving a notice period month, I have an offer, and on that offer can, yeah.
Yeah, I understand this question. Excellent question, Mohit. I can certainly add something, but before that, we have a lot of experienced folks in this call. Uh, if anyone want to guide Mohit about this situation, uh, and this is a very fair question because a lot of people are asking about it, and then they are also having their thoughts what should not be done ethically and all. So let's hear if
Yeah.
Sarika, do you want to?
है मतलब आपको you have to give and talk. एक दो बंदे आपको साथ में अच्छे मिल गए.
Sarika,
नहीं चल रहा है.
can you mute yourself if you're not? Yeah. Yeah. So, do we have anyone guiding Mohit on this?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now we get.
So please, no, Faiz, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Faiz
So,
and then Naveen. Yeah, I have my
Mohit, so regarding what you asked, so see, it's what can I say? It's a personal choice that what you want to do. Like you want to, you want to go for multiple offers or not. But what I would advise is that that if it's as per the industry standard and all, you should not go for multiple offers because it can create a bad impression, and in future maybe whenever you might want to apply to those companies, or even if not those companies, maybe let's say you begged offer from, let's say, more than 4 5 companies, right? And maybe let's say and the HR also will change job, like we are also changing job. So later on maybe it happens that a later point of career, whenever you want to switch at that company, that HR from which you had not you had mistaken an offer, but then you did not miss you did not miss you do not accepted their offer, maybe there, and they may have that kind of impression about you, that if they will offer you again, then you maybe take the offer and you do not accept the offer. So I would just suggest that if possible, try to avoid that situation. And even if let's say you have to do because of 90 days notice period, then at least whenever you let's say you finalize, let's say you get one offer, then you on basis of that you resign, and let's say you get one next offer, and if you feel like it's your offer, then you should immediately inform the first organization that, hey, I am due to so and so reason, I won't be able to join your organization. So that would be my advice, and the decision only you can make, because it's your situation. So yeah.
Right. Good point, Faiz. Yes, Naveen.
Yeah, I totally agree with Faiz. And Mohit, just to give you, see, it depends like what is your current package. And first of all, especially for the people who actually never switched. And then let's say after 7 years you are switching, or after 5 years, and your package is not obviously in the same company, you will be hardly getting 10-25% hike every year. And that you cannot match with the current market condition. But somewhere obviously you have to switch. So if you're switching, then you should have that thing, that what is the value of my skill set, of my experience in the market, what is the current standard is going on. So you should be very much clear about it, so that you will never get into that situation where that in a 90 days of notice period, every month or every day you are trying for a new job, or trying for a new offer, and then end of 90 days that you will be having around 10 to 11 offers, and then you have to decide. So that, let's not get into that situation. For example, let's say you have 10 lakhs per annum package, and you say, okay, no, I'm expecting at least 7 to 18 lakhs, that according to my skill set, according to my experience, that is the target I'm looking for. So you first try the first company, let's say they are giving you 13-14 lakhs per annum, then you should not try for other right, for XYZ companies who are giving the exactly same package. But because there is no point to having those offers, because you're already having 13-14 lakhs of package, then there is no point to gather so many offers from the okay, on the same package. Then you just raise your bar high. Then okay, fine, let's see, from TCS I went to Sapient, and Sapient I want to apply for Amazon or Facebook or something like that, if you have that caliber, because they might give you 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs. That should be the maximum, up to 3 or 4. After 3 offers or 4 offers, you should stop it. If you don't feel that, okay, no, I don't have that caliber, I have to prepare a lot, but in between that I have to fill this gap also immediately, is your requirement, you have to switch the job after 5 years or 6 years, because you have to improve your package. But don't expect somebody will give you from directly from 10 lakhs to 45 lakhs if you don't have those skills and you don't have the base package also, the previous package also. I think that is the situation we can avoid. And having 10, 11 offers is not a cool thing according to me. But again, it's a personal, individual choice. We have already discussed about it so many times earlier. Because I totally agree with Fez. It happens actually in India, especially where the HR people also changing the job. They will create this mindset. Okay, this person will, you will be in their defaulter list. That okay, this person is take the offer but never joins. So the next time also, if you're getting and if you're interacting with the same HR in some other company after a couple of years, so you will be in trouble. Or maybe some company, they will blacklist you also. Very straightforward. Okay, they will not entertain you for the next upcoming interviews or for any job offers. And then you will be losing unnecessary opportunity. Third thing is that if you get the offer, a better offer, and you feel that, okay, the company wise and the work wise and the salary wise, this is a much better offer for me, for my career. So very professionally, I think you should immediately inform to the previous HR that, okay, I won't be able to join, because unnecessary, they are waiting for you. Already 3 months is spent, and then suddenly you're saying, okay, no, I'm not, I cannot join you. So I think that's a very bad impression. Somewhere I personally feel that, right? So I think this is the thing.
Yeah.
Second important thing for a fresher, the problem is that, as you were saying, as Faiz mentioned that, okay, you should not think about to relocate. Doesn't matter you are in which city, in tier 2 city or tier 3 city. If you are willing to relocate to some other place also, let's say Bangalore, Pune also, go for it. But don't look for a big package also, right? You are already not having a job. At least start your career, get some money, 3-4 lakhs, whatever they are offering you, just go for it. There is a big career, right? 20-30 years now you have to work. So there is a big career. You can switch after that. You just learn the things after 2 years, then you get a 10 lakhs ka package once again after 2-3 years. So just don't wait. Okay, somebody will give you 10 lakhs ka package as a fresher. That is a very rare thing, because that's why, like, you are not, it's a hard word, but you're not coming from a really great college. You have average skill set in your resume. So just learn and then get that level of maturity, confidence and everything, and then just go for it. Then you can easily do that. Then you can match the level after 2-3 years, but at least wait. Don't expect what I see that, okay, some in my, in my family also, they come to me, hey, Naveen Bhaiya, that okay, I'm a fresher, just pass out from this college. And then, okay, can you refer me Walmart? I say, okay, what do you know about, tell me what you know. And have you done any project? Nothing. No, I don't know anything. I really having a big fear of programming. Just give me 10 extra package. Just please refer me. You are a manager there, right? You can hire me. No, dude, like, I cannot hire you like that. So you have to understand this. So sometimes that's why, like, they are just wasting time. 1 year and 2 years are gone as a gap after fresher. Then the things are gone. Then they are preparing for MBA or some other exams or whatever. So I think we have to consider whatever you are getting, 2-3 lakhs, whatever, just accept it and then go for it, and then keep trying after a couple of years.
Yeah, nepotism in corporate.
I would like to.
One question.
I would like to acknowledge what the Naveen said. And this is very correct that you should not chase the same package offer. Actually, it is called chasing a chocolate of 50,000. Because sometimes people get just 50,000 and 1 lakh rupees more than the current package, and they just rush for that. So that is really not good. But I will tell you one again honest thing. If you are trying to look for a multiple offer, don't try to get an offer. Don't try to get an offer. Try to get a salary breakdown on an email first, because every hiring process has a 3 stages. First stage, salary discussion, which comes as a salary breakdown on your mail. The second one is a offer package, which include whatever salary discussed and the terms and condition of employment. And the third thing is the joining. So if you receive your salary breakdown structure on a mail, and if you didn't find it compatible according to your aspiration, just say that I don't want to join, and we can close the discussion here. Because what this will help not to get an offer, and it will also help you to not get a block at their side. Because getting an offer and not joining may impact for a blocking, but getting a salary breakdown on an email doesn't will blocklist you or will not hamper your further career. This is something that I have seen. So this you can try.
I think that's absolutely right. I think we should set the expectation first that this is what I'm looking for.
Yes.
And if your budget is not allowing that, look, let's not proceed further. There is no point to start the documentation for that. There is no point to start the candidature also, because HR will release the offer. It means you got the offer in your email ID, okay, and they are waiting for you. So let's not get into that situation first. Set your expectation, ask whatever the salary structure that you have, whatever the per month I'll be getting or other benefits and everything, and consider other policies also, like work from home policy or any work-life balance is good there or not, or good learning, good manager, good hiring, good work culture, canteen, caf facility, everything. You just think about it. It's next to your home or not. So I think these things matter a lot. So people just say, okay, fine, just compare the package and that's it. Nobody is checking that, okay, yeah, it's a really good work, I'm getting it or not. And just because of somebody has given you from 10 lakhs to 10.5, they will just ditch the previous company. So I think that should be changed.
Right.
Personally,
That is only a 700 to 1200 rupees addition into the monthly.
Yeah, and then I think people flaunt and about it, okay, here 10 offers and 11 offers. That's good that, okay, you are caliber, that's why you clear it. But it's a negative. Don't you think it's okay? You are, somebody actually losing the chance just because of this thing,
Yes.
just because of these activities. And people, ultimately, end of the day, you are going to join only one company, right? So if you're having 10 lakhs, 10.1, then 9.8, then 10.5, then 11, and then you have 10 offers in your hand between the range of 9 to 11 lakhs, then what is the point? Like just a matter of few bucks per month. So have some, I think dignity we should maintain. Just because of you, other people are not getting the job. That's why, like, you can see a lot of imbalance in the market these days, that a 5 year experienced guy is having 25 ka package and 10 year experienced guys are still having 12 lakhs ka package. So that is what is happening now.
Yeah.
And on this, like, is there an ideal way to like know the justified salary for a person? Like, if I am a 5 years experience, what should I demand for? Like, I should have a certain thing in mind based on the current market, and say, for example, I have knowledge in Java and Python as well, so based on my skill set as well. So is there a way to find out my ideal package? Or
Yeah, Mohit, you just talk to different people. Let's see,
okay.
talk to people in your reference, in your, let's see, in Telegram group, and then talk to your friends also, or maybe in your family or on LinkedIn. Hey, what is the current standard market is going on for 5 year experience guy with Selenium, Java knowledge or Python knowledge? Let's see, for 5 years, they are looking for their standard package around 18 to 20 lakhs. But let's see, you are having 12 lakhs. It means you are lacking. Then you said it, okay, fine, at least I'm looking for this because you deserve that, right? You have spent industry. It's not your fault. Okay, why didn't you switch from last 5 years? I like that company, that's why I stayed over there. But it doesn't matter that, okay, nobody can stop you. No one can stop you to get a good offer. So just set your standard and then simply say that, okay, yeah, after 5 years, this is the standard. If you cannot give me, I'm not looking for that change. But if you have a requirement, no, immediately from 12 to 13 also, it's fine for me, then it's your individual choice.
Yeah.
And also you have to check where you are looking for salary comparison. The financial service provider versus financial institutions are two different. So you can't compare the salary between these two. So you have to compare that if I am into financial services provider, then I should check other financial service provider, how they are offering. And if your aspiration to be at upper level, then there is a separate thing. Then that should be the other parameter for salary judgment.
In fact, I can advise you one thing: people who never switched, let's say from last 5-6 years, and your package is not up to the mark as compared to the current market standard, I think you should go for some really good startups where they have good fundings, and because they will value your experience, your knowledge. You have already spent 5 years and you know the domain. So I think look for the similar kind of domain. Let's see, for mobility services, we have worked with Ola. You can try for Uber. You have worked with Amazon. You can try for a Walmart or Flipkart or Snapdeal, such companies. They will respect your experience, and then you can demand for that. They have good budget, they good money, and then you can standardize your package accordingly. I think that is the best approach. People just prefer this path so that you can get that level of package in the market.
That's really amazing pointers that you mentioned, you Nabil and Sanket. And I really like this is what the expectation from this forum, where a person have doubt, and he is getting solution with so much experience that people have. So thank you very much.
One thing, I agree with the last point with Naveen. Actually, I switched to I was spent 7 years in one company. I switched to a startup company. They're given good, actually good amount of package. So yeah, that is the way we need to switch.
Good. Yeah. Thank you for endorsing that. Yeah. So I think this was a very important question, and maybe we'll discuss this within the test chat community as well, Mohit, and you can get a lot of other insightful input as well about it. But what Sanket, Naveen, Faiz, they have mentioned is there is no law, but ethically there are something which should be correct. And what they were mentioning is maintaining the dignity. Think about, like, we go to gym, we think why we started going to gym when we want to stop it. Similarly, if you accepted any offer, think about when you want to reject that offer, why you accepted that offer before you are rejecting that offer. So yeah, this is a very candid discussion we had. I think we have a 7-minute over, but really good discussion. Now, if I may request everyone, if you can just switch on your camera, I can take a quick picture, and then that should allow me to close this call. Thank you, Neha. Faiz, can you on your camera? Raghu has already. Thank you, Raghu. Thank you, Manika, Sacharan, Sanke, Chandra, always smiling. Teapot, my friend. Okay, Naveen. Thank you, Naveen.
Am I visible?
Yeah.
I don't know my work.
So what is the menu today? Chicken? You look in kitchen.
I'm vegetarian.
Okay. Oh, you're vegetarian?
Yeah, I'll show you the view. It's crazy in Bangalore. It's like all the time raining.
Raining?
And
it's beautiful.
It's like really, really great Bangalore nowadays.
It's exactly opposite in Noida, not a single drop. Raghu, you switched off your camera. I'm yet to take a picture. Please.
Yeah.
Pune has a pleasant weather.
Oh, Pune is always. 12 months, Pune is awesome. Soumya, Del, Ishan. So if you, okay. I see Mohit is Ishan. Hey, Ishan.
Hi, Naveen. While we are taking the picture, I just want to say, this, I've been following your conversation and argument around this offers and people holding offers. And I think that you can't emphasize it enough. I mean, we need to put this on a bigger stage. So a lot of people need to hear these messages, because the repercussion of it, the effect of it goes beyond the actual candidate himself. They are taking opportunity away from other people. They are confusing the HR of some other company. The effect is way bigger than, and I've listened to you say this like several times over, but I think we need to find a way to put this message out there. I think a lot of people need to hear this message, Naveen. So I would, I don't know, but just think about it. We should find a way to do something around that where the focus is entirely that. And because I've listened to you talk about it a few times and you brought together several components of it, I'm looking for a way where we can actually bring together all of these components under one conversation so people get to hear it. Because I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So maybe we can have something more meetups on certain topics, and we can invite other people also.
Sure.
We can have some webinars on this topic.
I think we can have a chatted box discussion around this. This is very interesting topic that specific panelists should talk about so that people can help them. Yeah. So on the very good note, this very, very beautiful Sunday in Bangalore and not so good in Noida, I would like to end this call. Have a great time. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining. Thanks for all your inputs.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Naveen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Naveen, for the information. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you.
And Sachin, next time, this link, next time you
Yeah.
share this link in our group also, so that that's why like a lot of people they joined. Actually, I shared in that group as well.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll.
Hey, Naveen and Sachin, thank you very much. It really helped. Though it's a working day for us in Middle East, I can attend only alternative weeks, which is to skip my sprint planning. Yeah. But anyways, I really enjoyed. And Naveen, and everyone, I just wanted to say what Naveen explained. I am the example of LinkedIn. I got this job through LinkedIn only in Middle East. While previously I was working in Hyderabad, they just reached me over LinkedIn, and it has been a roller coaster ride here in this startup as well. Yeah.
Great to hear that. And Naveen is helping a lot of people. I am one of them.
Yeah. Naveen, your Gatling series helped me, man. We benchmarked it with your videos only. Thank you.
Cool.
Great, guys.
So yeah,
That's
thank you very much. I think we'll meet in the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, chalo.
Bye.
Take care. Bye, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much.